It's your boy PicumFunFan87. In this third tutorial on Adobe Photoshop CS6 for beginners, I'll be going over layer the layer styles within this right here, and it's really easy to use. All you're gonna have to do is pretty much get used to using the layer style panel pretty much, and this will allow you to do many different stuff with the layer selected. Okay, so before we start, please leave a like. That will show me some love and support to make more videos like this in the future. So again, just to remind you, I am going to be getting a PS3 and GTA 5 because that's how I like it. If you guys do have Grand Theft Auto 5 on PlayStation, please leave your name in the comments so I can add you as a friend if you guys do want a friend, because I don't have any friends right now, but I will eventually. So yeah, so leave a comment if you have any any questions regarding this video, or if you have any tutorial ideas. So let's go ahead and begin. So here I have a plain red background right here, and I put in text "Hello World." If you guys are wondering what text font or what font I used the Emboss new font. And you can download this at the Dafont with DAFONT.com. I'll post the link in the description if you guys want to download it and go follow along. So I have two separate layers right here. I did do a layers tutorial on my channel, so you guys want to go ahead and search it. Just put in layer tutorial, and that will bring up how to use the layers. And it's really helpful if you don't know how to use it yet. So I have two separate layers, so I want to go ahead and let me organize this first. I want to go ahead and work with the hello text. So that's the first one here, hello. So if you double click, it will bring up the layer style window. If you don't have that, all you gotta do is you can either right click and go over to blending options, and this will take you to the same window. All right, so once you have done this, you will have pretty much many options, okay? And right here where it says styles, this goes in order, okay? So whatever you do with bevel and emboss, this will be the very first thing you will see. If we were to do, say, inner shadow, this will come in second, unless you have something like stroke already there, then that's going to appear first. So it goes like this, it goes bevel, it pretty much goes down the list, okay? I don't want to go too much into that. So once you have the layer style window open, you will see that the blending options is default, okay? So this is the blending options. This right here is the blending options. Whatever you're on, that's what it's going to be, okay? And then you will see general blending. So this little square right here is just for blending, so general blending. So you can blend whatever you want. You could do like multiply, you can do lighten, you can do screen. But since I have nothing really set, it's not really going to work unless you have set something on either bevel and emboss, contour, or texture, okay? So I'm not going to mess with this yet. The opacity, this goes just for this. This will decrease the opacity of the word hello. You can also use on your keyboard left, if you click right here. If you use, oh my goodness, the left and right arrow keys, if I can. Okay, it's not working. Okay, it's the up and down keys. Who would have known? Okay, so it's the up and down keys. If you hold down shift, so if I hold down shift and I press down, this will go down every 10%. Or if you're doing to increase it, go up 10%. Okay. Advanced blending, again, this is the fill opacity. You can change the channels with red, green, and blue. You can uncheck these if you don't want some reds, so it'll kind of turn blue. If you don't want greens, or if you don't want blues, okay? I like the yellow, looks pretty cool. The knockout, this pretty much is, I don't really mess around with knockout because I don't really use it. It's pretty much the interior transparency, so it's the inside, that's how transparent it's going to be, I guess. I'm not going to go over all of these because it's not much that you can do with these. Not a lot of people use them. So blend, if you can do blending. So if you go gray, you can easily blend whatever you're going to be doing. Again, I don't mess around with this, but you can if you wish so. Bevel and emboss. Okay, so what this does, let me move this right here. You guys can still see it. First, let me go ahead and move these two over and mess around with this. There you guys. Yeah, now you can see. So if I were to go to bevel and emboss, okay, you will see here that it will give it a bevel. So we'll make it look 3D, kind of like a balloon bubble text, okay. Style, it's the inner bevel, okay. So this will affect the inside, okay, the interior. If you were to do the outside, it affect the outside, so pretty much the shadows, okay. You can do emboss, so this is just, I think, both pillow emboss, so I think it's inside, but on the sides. This one looks pretty cool. And I just got a text message. You can do stroke emboss, okay, that works pretty much the same, but for this, if you have a stroke, which I'll be showing you later. So by default, it should be outer bevel. And once you have done that, if you go over to technique, you will see smooth, chisel hard, and chisel soft. This pretty much is how hard like you want it. Don't stop thinking dirty, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much what it does. Okay, that's how sharp you want the stroke to be. The depth, this is if you increase it, it will increase the depth right here. You can see that it looks more, it's more in depth. Okay, pretty much the strength. So yeah, the direction, you can point this either down facing up or down. You can change the size. You can make it really huge or so big that it just lags. Okay, I wouldn't really mess around with that. Soften, you can soften this so it makes it look like it's kind of like a melted hello. This would work really good if you're gonna do like a chocolate poster or something. If you were to do like chocolate or something or text, that would look really, really good if you're gonna do this. Shading, you can do angle. You can angle it to however you'd like to do this. Okay, so this will do the global. So this will affect everything. You also get a little preview right here. If you don't want this preview, like if you don't want to see how it, like if I uncheck this, you won't see what it's gonna affect, but you can see it right here. You can see what it's affecting. Okay, I like to keep it on preview so I can see what I'm doing. If you uncheck use global light, this pretty much is the actual circle right here. So it's kind of pointless, but okay. Whoa, that looks really cool. The glass, let's see, glass contour. This is pretty much how realistic you want it to look. I've never really gone over this because I never really use it. So I don't know. You might want to use it, but this is pretty much how the contour would look. So sort of like the shape, if you think about it, the shape. Okay, anti-alias. I don't know how to pronounce that. Highlight mode. You can change. You can darken. You can multiply. I keep it on normal. You can also change the color if you want to. So you can do like a blue, and go with that. I want to see how brown would look like. That'll look really, really interesting. So, okay. Opacity, again, you can change the opacity. So whatever you do right here where it says the highlight mode or whatever you're going to be changing, it mostly gives you, for most of the time, it gives you the opacity to either increase or decrease the opacity. The shadow mode, again, works the same way. It's just a shadow, okay? Contour, if you click on this will just be the contour and the texture. Texture, if you click on pattern right here, you just click it once, you can select a pattern that you would like to do with the bevel and emboss, okay? So if you have more patterns, or if you want to install it, if you click on the settings right here and you go over to load patterns, you can select that and you can select a pattern for, I think it's a Photoshop file. You open it and it will import all of your patterns. I will do a video on that if you guys wish so. I will leave a comment below. You can create a new pattern, rename a pattern, delete a pattern. You can go over to text, large thumbnails, small list. These are pretty much your sizes. You can do preset managers to edit your patterns and all of this crazy stuff. What else? So you have a lot of stuff. So you can do artists. If I click OK, you can see that it gives you really cool effects here. I think this one they used for the Mac, the background, I think, which is pretty cool. The linen pattern that they used. But yeah, you can select the ones that they already have, which is a preset. You can snap to origin, so this will, I think, put it in centered. You can scale it. You can see the preview. You can scale it or make it smaller. You can also see it on your effect there. And increase or decrease the depth. Now, moving along, we've got the stroke. Stroke, you can increase the size. It pretty much outlines whatever you're going to be using. It could be a picture. It could be anything. In this case, I am using a text, which is hello. You can increase the size to make it look really, really fat and nasty, or you can make it really thin like this. Again, it works the same way if you hold down shift. It goes up 10 points or pixels, I believe. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pixels or points. It's pixels. Position, you can position this on the outside, which it is right now. You can position this in the inside. I really don't recommend doing that because it just gives you a really nasty effect. You can go into the center, so this will be pretty much like the center. So I don't know. I keep it on outside. Blend mode, again, gives you the same thing. You can do lighten, whatever. So this will really lighten it up. You can't really see it. You can do color dodge, overlay. Overlay is pretty cool. You can also decrease the opacity. Remember what I told you. You can also decrease or increase the opacity for each effect that you do. And I like it like this. Fill type, you can select your fill. Okay, so you can select color since it's black right here. If I were to do, say, blue, and click OK, you will see that it will change if I increase the opacity. I want to go over to normal so you guys can see this better. So I'm going to do blue. You can see that it does change the color. You can also do a gradient. So I think I've gone over a tutorial on how to do gradients. If I have not, please leave a comment so I can, so you guys can remind me. If you click on this again, you can edit whatever you want. I'm just going to go to preset and click OK. You can also do patterns just like I did back then, or actually earlier. I did how to do patterns, so you can import, load, use the presets that came in with Photoshop, and do all that crazy stuff. So styles, you can, again, simple, gradient stuff, radial, angle, all of this stuff. Ooh, I like this one. You can change the angle, so you can see that it gives you the preview, which comes really in handy actually. Dither, I don't know what this does. I think it kind of softens it. Scale, you can scale it up or make it, I'm gonna go ahead and reset to default. If you go over to inner shadow, this increases a inner shadow. So if you guys want like a stamp look or something, you could do this. You can increase the distance to make it look even more shallow, or make it look more in depth. Choke, this is how shallow I guess it would be. I don't know how to explain it, but you'll figure it out. You can do size. You can increase the size. I think the more you increase the size, the less you see it. So the less opacity. The angle, you can change the angle like this. You can see that. So this right here, the dark spot is where the angle is going to be, and then this would be your object, I believe. So that's how it is. So you can increase or decrease the opacity. You can change your blend modes. Quality, again, contour, you can increase the noise. But I'm going to reset that. Inner shadow. Sorry if this tutorial is long, but I hope this is helping you going over the layer style. Blend mode, again, same thing. Opacity, you can increase or decrease the opacity. If you don't want a gradient, you can simply click on this. Usually it does give you actually, if you want a gradient, you can actually select this one right here. And then you can like choose green and then click OK. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to select a solid color. I'm going to go with green because who doesn't like green? Elements technique. You get you can select either softer or precise. It pretty much softens the blend mode, or I think, or the color. I'm not familiar with this. Source, you can center or edge. Again, choke. This is just an inner glow, so I don't think you guys can see it as much. So And that's the bad thing. Okay, the next one we have is Satin. Satin is kind of like the bevel and emboss, but the opposite. It makes it look like a balloon, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but if I were to select red or something, which kind of makes sense with the background, you can increase or decrease the opacity. It just makes it look more bubbly, I guess. You can change the angle, increase the distance. Whoa, that looks really cool. Yeah, and you can also increase the size or decrease the size. Contour, that's how it looks. That's how the shape is. So if you wanted to change this, you could go ahead and be my guest. Okay. Next thing we have is the color overlay. This is really common when you're going to be selecting solid colors. So if you don't want any of these and have a standard color, you could go over to color overlay. Go to blend mode. You can select whatever color you want. So first, let me go with yellow, because I know you guys like yellow. You yellow lovers. You can go over to dissolve. You can go to multiply. You can go to lighten. If you do lighten, pretty much takes it off with colors. Okay. So I'm gonna go over to normal because the blend mode on colors is kind of pointless. So you can increase or decrease the opacity, as you can see there, and that's all you can do here. The next one we have is gradient overlay. Now gradient. Again, blend mode. I'm not going to go over that anymore. Opacity, decrease or increase the opacity. If you want to change the gradient, just click on this right here. If you click on the arrow, it's kind of like a shortcut to select the presets that it came in with Photoshop. So if you don't want to go over to by clicking this and changing it or going here in the presets, you can do that as so. But if you do want to change or insert your own custom gradient, click on this. You can go over to load and load your custom gradients, and it will pop up right there. If you want a standard, the one that came with Photoshop, just click the black and white. It should be foreground to background. The gradient type, you can do solid or noise. I keep it on solid. Smoothness, you can increase or decrease the smoothness. I keep it at 100 to make it look nice and smooth. Now, when it comes to selecting gradients, you can see this is kind of like an illusion. In reality, it looks like it's getting shorter and bigger. If you ask me, I don't know, but in reality it's the same exact size. But if you want to change it, if you click on the right here on the bottom one right here, the black square, and you click color, you can select that you can either import your own hex code, which is a color code. You can put in your colors right here. So I'm gonna do like a pink for you. If you're a girl watching this, then that's awesome. But if you're not, then that's okay. Yeah, so you can go over to purple or something, and that looks pretty cool. So if you guys see that in the left right here, this starts and this will be the lightest color. If you go over to the very right, this will be your darkest color, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. But if you want to switch it, all you're gonna do is click on this, click this arrow right here, and click and drag. Okay, and flip them around, and that will be the opposite. So this differs depending from which color you selected. So if you selected a dark one, then obviously you want a lighter color on the other side, or else it'd be kind of pointless of using the gradient editor. So that's pretty much it. You can also create a new gradient. If you want to save this, you don't want to go back, go over here and select all the colors. You can just simply click and click OK, and you're done. You can also save your preset to you can give it a name and save it to the gradients folder within the if you go over to users, your name, library, application support, Adobe Photoshop, CS6, presets, gradients, and that's where it's going to save it. So if you guys want some gradients, go over to your gradients folder in the presets folder in Photoshop, which is kind of like a big tongue twister there, but that's how you use it. All right, so now we have the pattern overlay, the blend mode. Again, opacity, you can change whatever pattern you'd like. So you can add patterns, custom patterns. Same thing, go over to load, and that will load your patterns, okay? So that's pretty much it. Outer glow works the same thing as inner glow. You can see the only difference that you get in inner glow is the source, but that's pretty much it, okay? So this is just the outer glow. The other one was the inner glow, so it'd be inside right here. So if I were to select a color, say like red or something, if I were to increase the opacity, and change the spread, you can start seeing the color pink over the color you selected, which is pretty cool. The next one we have is the drop shadow, one of the most useful and the most used layer style in the layer style window in Photoshop. So if you select the drop shadow and go over to blend mode, you can select again whatever you'd like. I'm gonna go to normal. I think the default is multiply, so I'm gonna keep it at multiply. You can select a color. My current is black. Go over to red, green. I'm gonna go with a really cool, nice blue, chill color. I love blue, favorite color. Opacity, you can decrease or increase the opacity. You can change the angle. So again, gives you the preview right here. So if you were to angle it upwards to 62 degrees, you can see that it's going to be in the bottom left scale. Pretty cool. Use global light, again, same thing. This is your globals. Distance, spread size, we've gone over this. You can increase the distance. This will increase how far from your object will be. So again, this does not have to be text. It could be anything. It could be a picture. It could be an object. It could be a shape, whatever. Spread, you can spread how far apart you want it to be from that object. And the size is how big you want the drop shadow to be. Contour, again, you can increase the noise or you can change the way it's shaped. And that is pretty much that's pretty much everything in layer style and how to use it. So if this helped you in any way, please leave a like in the ratings below. That helps me so much to create videos and show me that I do have you guys supporting my videos. Leave a comment if you have any questions regarding this video, any video tutorials, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace.